So, you've been dreaming about it, haven't you? Owning a little slice of paradise in Malta. Well, you're in the right place. Think of this as your personal guide. We're going to go on a little quest to make that dream a reality. Yeah, I can just see it now. The sunshine, the incredible history all around you, and a home that's all yours. Look, buying a house here isn't just a transaction, it's a real adventure. And every good adventure needs a map, right? Well, that's what this is. Okay, first things first, in any quest, you gotta know the rules of the land. So, before you even think about scrolling through property listings, we need to figure out if you're eligible to buy. And honestly, it all boils down to one simple question. Are you an EU citizen or not? So the rules are pretty different depending on where you're from. Let's say you're an EU citizen and you've lived in Malta for 5 years or more. Great news! You can buy property just like a Maltese local. Now, if you're from the EU but have been here for less than 5 years, you can still buy your main home, no problem. But if you're thinking about a second property, like a vacation home, you'll need a special permit. And for all you non-EU citizens out there, your path is a little different. You'll pretty much always need that permit, which actually we're going to talk about right now. Right, the AIP permit. So what is it? Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like an official permission slip to buy property in Malta. It's a must-have for all non-EU citizens. And remember, it's also for those EU citizens who want a second home but haven't hit that 5-year residency mark yet. Now here's the catch. The AIP usually limits you to owning just one property. But there's an exception, a really important one actually. Okay, so every good quest needs a little local knowledge, right? You gotta know the lay of the land. And in Malta's property world, that means getting your head around a few special zones and terms. The biggest one you need to know about is something called an SDA. And listen up, because this is a total game changer. SDAs, or Special Designated Areas, are basically luxury developments where the normal rules just don't apply. For foreign buyers, especially if you're from outside the EU, this is your golden ticket. Seriously, in an SDA, you can buy as many properties as you want. You don't need that AIP permit we just talked about, and you can start renting them out right away. Let's make this real. Imagine John. He's a Canadian investor. He finds this amazing place in Tignes Point, which happens to be a very popular SDA. So because he bought there, he got to completely skip the whole AIP permit process. Just bypassed it. This made his purchase so much faster and gave him the freedom to rent it out immediately. It's a perfect example of how these SDAs make life so much easier for non-EU buyers. Okay, so you know the rules, you know the terrain. Now for the main event, the actual step-by-step path that takes you from just looking to holding the keys in your hand. There are 6 main steps you're going to follow. The first really big moment, your first major milestone, is signing something called the convenju. And that's a Maltese word, and it basically means a promise of sale agreement. And don't take it lightly. This is a serious, legally binding contract. It locks in the price, it locks in the terms. Once this is signed, you and the seller are officially in this together. You're committed. And that commitment, it comes with a deposit. So right when you sign that convenju, you'll usually put down 10% of the purchase price. You'll also pay 1% stamp duty right then and there. This is how you show you're serious. It takes the property off the market and gives your notary time to do all their important background checks. All right, let's just run through that whole journey from start to finish. Step 1, you find the place, you fall in love, you make an offer. Step 2, you sign that super important convenju and pay the deposit. Step 3, your notary gets to work doing all the crucial due diligence, checking the property's history and making sure everything's in order. Step 4 is when you'd apply for your AIP permit if you need one. Step 5 is the big day. You sign the final deed and pay the rest of the money. And finally, step 6. Your notary registers the property and it is officially 100% yours. You get the keys. So you've got the keys. Fantastic. But let's talk money, because a successful quest is all about budgeting, right? The absolute most important thing to remember is that the price on the listing is not the final price you'll pay. You have to budget for the extra costs. So let's break those down. Now, obviously, the property price itself is the biggest chunk of your budget, but see those other slices of the pie? Those are the ones you really need to plan for. Things like stamp duty, notary fees, you gotta factor these in from the very beginning. Trust me, it'll save you any nasty surprises when it's time to sign. Okay, let's get into the actual numbers. The biggest extra cost is gonna be stamp duty. That's a government tax, and it's set at 5% of whatever the property is worth. Then you have your notary fees, which can range from about 0.25% up to 1%. And remember that AIP permit? If you need one, that's a flat fee of €233. These are the big three you need to build into your budget right from the get-go. So you did it. The quest is over. The property is yours. Congratulations. But the adventure isn't really over. Now you've got to set up your new life, and that means taking care of a few final bits of admin. Think of this as your final to-do list. Your notary handles registering the deed, so that's done. But it's on you to get the utilities, water, electricity, switched over to your name. You'll also want to pop down and register with your local council. Oh, and if you bought in a complex or an SDA, you'll almost certainly have to join the condo association and pay some regular community fees. And after all that admin talk, I've got some really, really good news for you. Unlike a lot of other places, Malta has no annual property tax. That is a huge plus for homeowners. And if you're an investor, it gets even better. You can choose to pay just a simple, flat 15% tax on any money you make from renting it out. How great is that? So there you have it. You've learned the rules, you've walked the path, and you have claimed your very own piece of the Mediterranean. Your property quest might be over, but your real adventure, living in beautiful Malta, is just getting started. So the only question now is, what's next for you?